happens when you're with somebody who has a pattern of behavior. And I think that's really important to be aware of because a pattern of behavior shows you something that you shouldn't ignore. When something happens once and someone apologizes and it doesn't happen again, it's probably not a pattern, it's just a misstep. When it happens over and over again, though, it means that we need to pay attention to it. There's this whole approach to this idea of what's called a cycle of abuse. And it's a repeated pattern that shows up in abusive relationships. It usually has like 4 different parts. One is tension, stress, criticism, controlling behavior, having to walk on eggshells, feeling like it's your fault, jealousy, emotional pressure. It all starts to build. And the person being harmed often tries to keep the peace. So you stay small, you avoid setting the other person off, you might make up excuses for their behavior, or you might even say it was something that I did. And the event could be verbal, emotional, physical, financial, psychological. And so whatever the harm is, it's done upon another person. And then that person, they might apologize. They might deny it, they might minimize it, they might blame stress. And then you become hopeful. And then things calm down for a while. They become normal. And the cycle keeps people bonded to hope. And so that's typically why you might not leave that situation, because you become hopeful that maybe this time it won't happen again. And then the calm and the apology phases make someone believe the abuse or the pattern of behavior was an exception, when in reality it's part of the pattern. It just is part of the cycle. Not every relationship that does harm or has abuse or is emotional triggering follows this exact pattern, and some get rid of the apology phase altogether, or maybe it becomes more frequent. So tension builds, abuse happens, stress is created, repair is promised, calm returns, and then it starts all over again. So if this is happening to you, there's a couple of things to think about. Why are you staying in that pattern? When I stayed in unhealthy and harmful patterns, it was because I was getting something out of it. Part of it was because it's how I felt connection growing up in an abusive family. That was normal to me. And so someone paying attention to me by being mean meant that I was being seen, when actually it meant that I was being harmed and hurt, and that it was going to come back to me as I grew into an adult, because then I created harm and hurt for other people. And so you have to look at it from both of those perspectives, from what is this person doing and what is their pattern and how am I complicit in it, to what is it that I'm getting from it that's in some way solidifying a thought or a feeling that I have about myself, even if it's not healthy. Because what is going to happen to you as you go through this change process is your friends group may shift and change, because some of the people that you're involved with right now are not going to be the same people that are going to support this change and this transition that you want to do. And you have to be willing to let those people go. If they're creating an unhealthy environment for you, which means you're emotionally triggered when you're around them, or you think about going to visit that person and you're like, do I really want to go there? I'm so tired of them. That's a clear indicator that that is not a healthy relationship for you. And my whole group of people that I hung out with when I started this process when I was 18 years old is completely different than the people today, because the energy that they carried was not serving me. And I had to shift because I couldn't change them. And you might be afraid of being alone, and yet that's okay. Being alone is a great way to process and to think about what is it that you're carrying and why are you experiencing this. And remember, do all of this and approach this outside of blaming, shaming, and judging yourself. And just really think about what's in your best interest. You've chosen to embark on this path of change. You've chosen to become aware of your blind spots and to use that mirror. Those people who are causing you harm, who are abusive to you, who are treating you in some way, are a reflection of a part of you. Not all of you, a part of you. And so it's important to reflect on, why am I attracting this person into my life? What is it that I'm getting out of it? How does this serve me to have them in my life? And that's the starting place. You can journal it, you can talk to someone else. And as you become clear, then remember this origination point is regardless of how old you are, go back to your youth. That's where it started. The narrative, the idea, the approach all started sometime between birth and high school age. And so the more that you can think about where did this originate and how am I now using it today, the better able you'll be able to do some healing and understand what you need to do to break it down. Because when you shift your own pattern of attraction, you start to bring in different people that match your energy. And those people who are energy sponges, basically the people that just suck the life out of you, let go of them. You don't need them. Let them go. Just say, I can't do this anymore. And it might be hard at first, and you might want to go back because even having that dysfunctional relationship is better than having nothing. And I care about you, and I want you to care about yourself. So I want you to think about how you break that cycle of abuse and recognize a pattern. And a pattern is something that just happens 2, 3, or 4 times. It's not you have to wait until it happens 100 times. If it happens 4 or 5 times, it's probably a pattern that the other person has. If you're experiencing something multiple times, it's probably a pattern that you have. And this is where you take out the mirror. This is where you reflect. Here's my mirror. I always keep it handy. Let me look at myself and say, what is it about me that's attracting this? Why am I still bringing this energy into my life? Because what you have the power to do is to shift the energetic field that causes the attraction that you receive every day. So remember to think about that. Journal, look at your day from an honest perspective and see the kind of energy that you attracted that day, and then do your own self-exploration. I love the comments that you're making in the YouTube channel. I love the questions, and I respond to them, and I really appreciate your willingness and desire to grow, and I'm going to continue to support your growth any way I can. And remember one thing, keep growing.